Hey everybody, welcome to Games on Lock News. We are glad to be back. We have a really great show for you guys today. We have Chris Hatala from Games Done Legit. He runs this really great business, event coordinator, boss of his own business here. He's going to share a little bit about that. And then we're going to talk some news. So we got some interesting topics you're going to want to hear about. All right, Helena, you ready to talk up some news today?
Absolutely, I'm excited.
All right, so Apple is selling the PS5 controller. What do you think about that?
This is so interesting because this is only the third controller in Apple's history that they are even selling online. So now the PS5 DualShock is now iOS 14 compatible, which means you can now use this controller for Apple TV or a wide range of Apple products, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool. And what does that bring to Apple? What does that bring to the PS community?
Well, first of all, it brings a ton of sales to
Right,
PS5.
right.
I mean, that's a given. But it just makes everything more accessible. So if you have a PS5 in your home, now you can use that on your Apple TV. It just makes everything a little bit more compatible in your living room.
Yeah, no, that sounds really awesome. So Cavs Legion, I know you are super knowledgeable about this. They're starting season 4.
Yes.
What is going on?
Yes, so the NBA 2K League finally tipped off their 4th season. We just had the tip-off tournament. Now we're finally going into the regular season. So Cavs Legion, super excited to watch the team this year. They have a wonderful player named Mario, who is the first Spanish player, straight from Spain. Now he's in Cleveland here locally in Market. Really excited to see what he's got going. I think it's going to bring a lot of attention to the league, and I have high hopes and high expectations for the team this year.
Yeah, and so he wasn't able to play because he was in quarantine. So when is his first time playing? Do you even know?
Correct, yeah. So now he's finally eligible to play. Now he's out of quarantine, #free Mario. So he is now being able to play in the regular season game 1 for Cavs Legion. So everyone's excited to tune in. I'm excited to tune in. So I think you'll see a lot of Spanish-speaking viewers in the chat.
Yeah.
And I think this will bring a lot of attention both to Cleveland esports and the league itself.
Yeah, that's really great. It's good to have such a good player that people are excited about.
Yes.
All right, so the Zips right here in Akron, the Esports League. We have some national champions.
Yes, we do.
So cool.
So Akron University, they have Zips Esports, which is their esports team. They compete in a bunch of titles, but specifically Rocket League. They just won the Collegiate Rocket League Spring National Championship, which is amazing. Congratulations to them.
Yeah.
They've got some extremely talented players on that roster, and now they will have the fall Collegiate Rocket League Championship that they're going to be looking forward to. I'm sure they might go back-to-back titles, so they're going to have to defend the ring when they come back in the fall.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So much fun. And so were they competing against teams from all over the country?
Correct. So they are playing against LSU, a bunch of big title schools, and so this really puts Akron on the map, but also these players. This Rocket League is a 3v3 sport that they're playing, so
Okay.
Congratulations to the 3 players that are representing Akron.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. Very cool. All right, coming up next, we have Chris Hatala from Games Done Legit. I can't wait to share that interview with you guys.
Be culture. Move culture. Own culture. We are excellent. We are intelligent. We are divine. We walk with confidence, purpose, and might. Divine might. Be culture.
That smells so good. Wow.
Cooking Genie. Dining reimagined.
Games Unlock News is brought to you by Ma Bell Sweets. Check them out on Facebook and Instagram. Cooking Genie. Check it out on cookinggenie.com. The Heart of It All. Check it out on Facebook and Instagram. ESCAV for all your video and photography needs. Check it out on escav.org. And Akron Buzz. You can watch on YouTube or on Facebook. Welcome back. I get to hang out with Chris Hatala today. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Good. How are you doing, Sarah?
I am fine. And Chris is the event coordinator and final boss for Games Done Legit, his company. which is a really cool name. I like that name, by the way. So tell me a little bit about how you got into this business.
Sure. So I, been into video games since I was a little kid, like probably pretty much everybody watching. Street Fighter is one of the franchises I was always interested in, going to arcades and meeting, all kinds of different people at the arcade machine. It didn't matter that I was a short, like little nerdy looking kid, going down to the mall, and just, it was, even at that age, it was helpful to meet, people who are like, look completely different than me, completely different ages, interact with them, etc. So we, for fun, started what became the second biggest Street Fighter tournament in the world, called Seasons Meetings, here in Ohio each year. And I discovered, throwing an event and watching people, have a great time with it really, really made me happy, I guess. So I started networking within the special events community here in Cleveland, and met people who just started their own business, maybe their own lighting business, a DJ business, etc. So we started off just like, I might be able to use, classic video games as a form of event entertainment for companies and things like that. So it just, has grown, and I'm very happy with it, and that's kind of my story.
Yeah, so you guys do all kinds of different events. What are some of the different things that you would do? You might go into like a company or a party. Tell us a little bit about the different kinds of events.
Sure. So, for instance, like Universal Windows Direct, who we probably know in Cleveland from their commercials and everything, they have franchises all over the country. So they fly everybody in to each host city each year and figure out a fun team building event or something that they could do for everybody. So at the venue that they had, we came up with a program where we had 10 stations, everything from, you do 2 songs in Rock Band to doing multiplayer Tetris. So you're all playing Tetris on the same screen, putting the pieces down in the same place.
Oh, that's fun.
Wii rowing, that you do as a group and everything. Just stuff that's fun and stuff that anybody can do, not necessarily you're a video game player or anything. It doesn't matter if you haven't played a game since Duck Hunt. That's the kind of stuff that we try to put together. So, and then we had an event for the NFL Draft, which we recently had in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And we had a couple of VR, virtual reality football games. One where we have a relationship with the developer, so we were able to put Jacksonville Jaguars stuff. It was a Jaguars party for the first pick. Put Jaguar stuff all over the game and everything like that, just for their party. And then we had a classic video gaming area where we had games from the 80s and the 90s that a lot of folks grew up playing, Tecmo Bowl and NFL Blitz and stuff like that, and just set it out and help people enjoy it and have a good time. And it's pretty much what we do.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. So you kind of take a lot of these classic video games, and then I'm sure some from right now as well, and just make it into a party, right? Make it into an event. That's so cool. I love that. So tell me a little bit about, you like to play Dance Dance Revolution, and there's a little bit of a story behind that as well. You used to play, you're playing again. Go ahead and share with me about that.
Yeah, sure. So even in the early 2000s, I was one of the older players actually playing DDR. So I was in my early 20s, and it was mostly, kids in high school and stuff like that. So some of us older players had convinced ourselves the very hardest things to do in DDR, the younger kids can do that because, et cetera. We're just old now. So fast forward, I'm married, we're, about to have our first kid, and I'm 35, and it's what? I wonder if it's even physically possible for me to achieve the hardest things to do basically in arcade DDR. So my wife and I started going to the gym 4 days a week, started eating differently, started taking care of myself differently to see if this was even possible for me to do physically. And and we're very fortunate in Ohio that we have new places to play DDR, these new $20,000 machines from Japan that almost no places have. So I kind of got back into the community. It's a very healthy, supporting community, because you're playing against the machine. You're not really playing against another person.
Right.
So it just lends itself to a lot of camaraderie and community. And so I started playing again, and I'm in the best shape of my life at 39 now, and I am doing way more in the game than like I ever like could have thought possible. And it's like, oh
Yeah, that is so cool. Like you're using this game that you have a love for to basically like get in really good shape and be healthy. And I mean, that's really awesome. What are some of the places that have the game if people want to go and check it out?
Yeah, so in Cleveland, we're lucky to have, it's a Japanese-owned chain called Round One.
Okay.
And they're like a family fun center, but the games are like better maintained for the most part than like a Dave and Buster's or more of these chains that we kind of had around for a while.
Yeah.
But like in Cincinnati, all they have is a Dave and Buster's. So Dave and Buster's and Round One are the only places that actually have the series of new machines.
Okay.
Because they have to be connected to the internet and they save your stats and you unlock songs and all that stuff. So if you have a Dave and Buster's around, that's still a great place to play and like meet people. But Round One's king. We love Round One. We're all brand ambassadors basically because they take care of the machines. They take care of us, and we just want to play and like have a good time. And yeah, we do that.
Yeah, that's great. So I think this could be something that could you even bring you to like a small party? Do you have families that hire you, or do you mostly do larger events?
Oh yeah. So I mean, like I want to make people happy basically with what we do, and kind of share this this love of gaming and just show people in a different environment.
Right.
And especially, even for the parents, like we do, kids' birthday parties
yeah,
and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
And, we do house parties and things like that. And yeah, it's a lot of fun having things that even at a kid's party, we'll have, like original Nintendo and, Sega Genesis and Super NES, stuff that the parents grew up playing. And, it's like a small but really cool way to kind of bring them, closer together. Because kids are, to my kind of surprise, as an older person now, basically at 39, grew up with Nintendo and Atari.
Yeah.
They're like also into these old games in addition to, all like the newer stuff too.
Right.
So, corporate is kind of like our main like wheelhouse. But yeah, I mean, anyone that, wants something fun to do and if we make them happy, we will.
I love that. My husband actually has talked about wanting to do like exactly what you're doing, not run the business, but just have like a party where he gets all of the old video games and, invites people over. So I think it's so great that you kind of set that up for people, because the hard part is getting the stuff, and you guys already have it. So
yeah,
that's
and
great.
having it in good shape, and like we've got like a ton of like tube TVs and everything, from back in the day, and like who has those lying around? Once you start having kids, that kind of takes over your life. You don't have time for
you don't have those things lying around.
Yeah.
So if people want to contact you and just find out more information, or if they want to hire you for an event, how can they do that?
Oh, sure. Just gamesdonlegit.com. Pretty easy. You can just contact us the website. You can see, what kind of events that you're interested in, corporate, just, for fun, like nonprofit, we pretty much do everything. So you can go to our website, and even I've got, some subset pages on, other stuff that I'm up to that, I just love games and I love doing this stuff and, just for fun. And,
Great.
just through our website.
What about social media? Do you guys have social media that
Oh
people can follow?
yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely too. And obviously we've been a little quiet, since the pandemic and everything. The business pretty much shut down since then. And the NFL draft was our first event coming back.
It's a good one. It's a good one to be able to come back to, right?
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
a really nice springboard and to kind of get us back into things. Yeah. So every social media platform we're on there.
So people can find you on Facebook and.
Yeah, and like Instagram especially, we've got lots of video, because it's like, you need to see the stuff, because a lot of people can't picture like, old video games at our corporate event, like, what does that look like, or what is, so to see people, enjoying it and having fun, in just like an organic way and not like a marketing way, that's where all our social material are.
Well, thank you so much, Chris. That was really fun. I think it's such a creative and really cool idea, and I just wish you lots and lots of success, and I hope all of our Clevelanders hire you. All right, we had a great time today here on Games on Lock News. We'll see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.